Check, 1, 2. Please be upstanding for His Worship, the Mayor of the London Borough of Hounslow, accompanied by the Mayoral Party.
Please have a seat. Good evening and welcome to this evening meeting of the London Borough of Hounslow, which is an annual meeting. This is also sometimes known as a mayor-making meeting for the reasons which will be shortly become clear to all of us. We have a large number of guests today and dignitaries with us this evening, so I would like to extend my warm welcome to all of you. We are delighted that we are able to be with us today. May I welcome the member of the public who are watching this meeting either on YouTube or here in Hounslow House in the public gallery. Thank you for joining us this evening. May I now I ask everyone to kindly put your phones on silent. And I remind you all that public can tweet and participate other social media, but councillors are not allowed. All the councillors have agendas. There are two sort of documents. I remind there is an official photographer who will be taking pictures. I remind the guests and journalists who are also welcome here. Today they can take the photographs or film the proceedings, but kindly refrain from using flash photography. And during the meeting, try not to obstruct. There will be opportunity afterwards where you can take lots of photographs. We'll now move on to first substantive item on this agenda and hope that everyone watching this meeting here in this chamber will have enjoyable time. Agenda item 1, apologies for absence. I have Councillor Sukhbir Dhaliwal, Councillor Rajinder Gill, and Councillor John Todd. Any other apologies? Vikram Garewal, thank you.
Gabriella Giles.
Gabriela Jones. And I've just got the information that Councillor Dhaliwal and Councillor Todd are currently they're not well. She's also so. I wish them quick and speedy recovery. Any declaration of interests? None. Thank you. Agenda item 2. This is just to report only. We have general election. Sorry. I'm sorry. we have Heston West by-election in March 2023, and I welcome Councillor Emma Sidhu for his first meeting. Members are aware that she's current mayoress as well, and I hope most of her, everybody knows her, but people who don't know, can you stand up, please? Thank you. Now, agenda item 3, we have to now move on to announcements. I think everybody present here enjoyed recent coronation events taking place all over the borough in this May across the nation. I was delighted to see so many street parties and other community events over the coronation weekend, and I know that many members were there in their wards enjoying the street parties. I had an honor to attend the coronation concert on Sunday, 17th of May with the leader, and I'm sure we all have our own memories and experience from that memorable weekend. And not just because of the weather, but lots of fun as well on the coronation. However, I would like to alert members to a very special connection of coronation for the borough, which is one of the great friend of Freeman of the Hounslow Borough, Warrant Officers Johnson B. Harry, VC, Order of Granada, 1st Battalion of the Prince of Wales Royal Regiment, carried the flag of the island of Granada at the request of island's government. This is a wonderful thing to have happened, and I'm also delighted to say that Mr. Bihari is with us this evening. So I welcome to Hounslow House. Any other announcements? Councillor Rajwat.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I've got an announcement, a happy announcement actually. Hounslow's first schools Dragon's Den competition, which is an exciting new opportunity for our children and young people. Hounslow's education team have been working in partnership with a charitable organisation called Social Enterprise to provide young people a real life experience of running a social enterprise in school empowering them to become active citizens and affect social change in their communities and beyond. Social Enterprise Schools Dragon Den competition was hosted right here in Hounslow House. Schools had to present enterprise ideas to an expert panel of dragons, which included myself. Apparently I'm an expert. Stephen Forms, who is definitely an expert. Cherise Longry from SAP and Harris Ahmed from SAP as well, who are a business based in the borough. Grove Road Primary School won the overall award for the day. They presented an idea of a healthy food stall to support the social development of young people. The Heathen School and Edward Pauling Primary School were the 3 schools that participated on the day. Spring West Academy and Woodbridge Park Education Service and Oaklands also took part in the overall competition. I was extremely impressed with the ideas of our young entrepreneurs, and I've committed to support all the ideas the 3 schools put forward. Lucky Clive's not here. You would not be happy with that. With Grove Road, subsidising their work to ensure the burden isn't placed on local families. For Heathens, organising departmental card purchases through Heathens, and their cards were fabulous. And Edward Pauling Playground, utilising some of the existing funding streams to support them for their idea for a new playground. I can also share that Oakland School will be representing Hounslow to celebrate the launch of a school's special Big Issue edition, which is being hosted at the House of Lords tomorrow. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Rajwat. Councillor Lilybart.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and I hope you enjoy your last meeting. So I've got a couple of announcements to make. Firstly, Work Hounslow, which is the skills and employment team for the council, have been shortlisted for the Living Wage Champion Awards 2023 in the public sector champion category. As you will all know, the council is a London living wage employer, both for staff and those who work for companies commissioned by the council. However, not all employees in the borough will be paid the London living wage, and it's important that as a council we support them to be able to do so. So this is exactly what the Work Hounslow team have been doing by working alongside the Living Wage Foundation, and they've been doing some excellent work in championing firstly the London living wage, but also supporting local businesses to overcome barriers in order to pay the living wage and also to become living wage accredited. I would like to say a massive thank you to the team for all their hard efforts. And also I'd like to say thank you to residents and to young people who did actually raise this issue with me some time back. Work Hounslow will continue to work together with the Living Wage Foundation to promote the living wage in Hounslow, because we know that, of course, it's really important in terms of paying conditions for Hounslow residents, but also in terms of economic recovery. I understand that there were lots of submissions in this category, so to be shortlisted is an enormous achievement, I think. So the winners will be announced in July, and I wish the team all the very best. My second announcement is, I'm also very pleased to announce, it's about Westbrook, which is our children's home, which provides short break service for children with physical and learning disabilities. I'm pleased to say that when it was inspected in between February and March, it received an outstanding judgment for all of its areas. And Ofsted, this is something that Ofsted did actually write in their report. They said that the children's home provides highly effective services that consistently exceed the standards of good. The actions of the children's home contribute to significantly improved outcomes and positive experiences of children and young people who need help, protection and care. A massive thank you to all of those teams and the children in the home who would have been preparing for Ofsted. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Councillor Bhatt. Councillor Samia Chaudhary.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Last week, the Council and its partners have been taking part in the National Dementia Action Week campaign. Across Hounslow, we have seen a host of activities and events that were organised to provide information and give those people in our borough who are living with dementia the support they need. With new initiatives such as memory cafes and outdoor events to keep people with dementia stimulated and moving. Through to the sheer joy of the Singing for the Brain sessions. Our Dementia Action Week activities have provided something for everyone. A highlight of the week was launch of our film Glimpse, which brings the subject to life in an emotional way, and I would recommend everyone should watch it. We were overwhelmed by the level of activities taking place in our borough, and I would like to thank everyone who has joined us to make Hounslow Dementia Action Week a success. We would like to thank all those brave people who are living with dementia, the selfless families, members, and carers who are always there for them, and the dedicated professionals who work tirelessly hard to improve their quality of life. And on this note, I would like to say thank you very much to all the team at Adult and Social Care, all the staff members who've done extremely hard work for last week, and they're carrying on working hard. And thank you very much to Councillor Marina Sharma for working extremely hard on dementia as well. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Chaudhary. I have seen the film. It's very emotional, and I want whoever haven't seen it, kindly have a quick look. Thank you, Councillor Chaudhary. Councillor Shaheen.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. A year ago, we set ourselves some very ambitious targets for our administration, and one of those targets was to plant 20,000 trees across the course of this administration, and of which 7,500 would be planted in this first year of the administration. It's an incredibly ambitious target. It's an incredibly tough target for us to have reached. But it's a necessary one because it means so much towards our biodiversity, our efforts to tackle climate change, our efforts to tackle air pollution in the borough. I'm pleased to announce today, not only have we met those targets, we've smashed them. We planted 8,600 trees in this year alone. Secondly, in autumn last year, I made a pledge that we would get our allotments back up to full capacity following a period of challenges that they'd faced during the pandemic. So we introduced a use it or lose it policy, and we have now, I'm very pleased to announce, reached 100% allotment capacity occupation rate as promised on time. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Shaheen. Councillor Ajmer Garewal.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. A couple of weeks ago, we hosted our first Serious Violence Summit at Brentford Football Stadium. More than 80 people attended, including children from local schools. The event brought together key partners and pupils to discuss and address the themes of serious violence, gangs and groups, offending and exploitation. The summit was co-designed and presented with young people. The day featured workshops by street doctors who provided practical support and advice when someone's been stabbed. Sheldon Thomas, former gang member, gave a speech, and he's the founder of Gangs Line. And of course, the Metropolitan Police West Area BCU Borough Command Unit on gangs was there. The panel discussion focused on various topics, including the Council's commitment to reduce youth violence, the early intervention services to reduce youth violence, and interaction between police and other statutory services on sharing information. Unfortunately, I couldn't be there. I've just heard about the report, but Councillor Lily Bath was there, who's the Cabinet Member for Children, and she thought it was a brilliant day, thought-provoking, inspiring, and hard-hitting. The information from the summit will be used in the development of the borough's serious violence strategy as part of the new duty on CSP to reduce serious violence. So I just want to thank everyone who worked on this summit. It was a great success, and I think we'll be doing a few more of them.
Well done.
Thank you, Councillor Garewal. That's conclude the announcements. Now, agenda item 4. This is from page 8 to 16 on your main agenda, on your documents. I'm very pleased when I was being briefed that both the leaders agreed on few of the items. And let's keep that positive spirit and move forward. Made my life easy. So changes in the constitution, agreed? Excellent. Agenda item 5, notification of appointment of the deputy leader and the cabinet. So as you know, that council constitution in Hounslow operates on the basis of strong leadership model, which means that Councillor Shantanu Rajvat is elected for 4 years. And now on documents, on page number 1, there's a list of all the cabinet members. And now I ask Councillor Rajvat to move on the report.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I formally move the report alongside the addendum. The announcements were just a small glimpse of the amount of work that this administration has been carrying out over the past year. It is literally just the tip of the iceberg. If I started going through it, you would see that there is a whole lot more that sits underneath this and more yet to come. I'm absolutely delighted with the team that I've got here that have worked really, really hard, and I'm absolutely delighted to confirm that Councillor Dunn will carry on as Deputy Leader, and the Cabinet will not be changing. It's the strongest team that this borough could have to achieve the aims and the aspirations of our residents, as well supported by the rest of the team. There are some minor amendments to the portfolios, which I will table separately. I just need to complete that work. However, we remain steadfast in our ambition for Hounslow and the trust that the residents have placed in us. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Rajvat. Kindly note all the appointments. Now, agenda item 6, establishment of area forums. So that is on page number 3 of the supplementary bundle. So may I draw members' attention to the nominations of chairs and vice chairs of these bodies? I ask Councillor Shivraj Garewal to propose and introduce the report.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Mayor, since the election in May 2022, our new administration and the council has radically improved community engagement across the borough with the introduction of the community development approach. This new way of engaging the residents has been driven by the new councillors, new community development team who are already developed a radically new focus on community engagement, led by councillors across the borough. At the heart of this approach is the establishment of a new role for the area forums to involve local residents in deciding that decisions that affect them and to give them residents a better opportunity to engage with their local councillors. Over the last year, this new way of delivering area forums has been extremely successful, and the new community-based format for the meetings has resulted in significantly increased attendance, with further increasingly all the time. And residents have given us a positive feedback about this new approach. We are continually looking to engage with our residents to develop their area forums, and in September 2022, a suggestion came from the Isleworth and Brentford area forum that these forums could be amended. And taking that into consideration, we made that amendment and created 2 more area forums. This would also help to develop better community engagement with the council in this part of the borough and create new area forums, which would be on a more manageable scale in terms of the size of the population that they serve. In addition, the cabinet has been aware of the significant inconsistencies in the size of the area forums in the west of the borough and those in the east. Therefore, to address this disparity and make them more equal in terms of population size, it is also proposed to divide Bedford, Feltham, Hanworth area forums. This is currently the largest area forum in the borough with over 70,000 inhabitants. This would create 2 new area forums in the borough, which would help to make the size of the area forums more equal. The details of the new area forum boundaries and the new population sizes of each of them, you can find them in the report published here. And therefore making the following proposals: that the establishment of the 7 area forums as detailed in the report be agreed, that the appointment of the area forums in line with the new ward allocations listed in the report be approved, that the terms of the reference of the area forums be agreed. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councillor Garewal. Now, can I ask Councillor Rajwat to second the report?
Thank you,
Please.
Mr. Mayor. I second and reserve my right to speak.
Thank you, Councillor Rajwat. Shall we vote on this? Agree. Against? Abstain? All agree. Thank you. Agenda item 7. This is from page number 27 to 93 and on supplementary bundle page number 4. I think this is also sorted out between both the parties. Agreed? Agenda item 8, appointments of outside bodies from page number 94 to 102. Now I ask Councillor Rajwat to propose the recommendations. Appointment of outside bodies.
Mr. Mayor, I formally move.
Now I ask Councillor Catherine Dunn to second the report.
Yeah, I'll second the report. I was looking on the wrong way. Yes, sorry, I second the report and I also have an amendment to move on it. Which is,
Page
sorry, for just to say that the appointment to West London Waste Authority will be Councillor Guy Lambert and not myself.
Please note that, please.
Yes.
Agreed? Thank you. Agenda item 9, Armed Forces Covenant Renewal 2023. I'm pleased to confirm that there is a cross-party support on this proposal in this matter, and I ask Councillor Rajwat to introduce the report, which is on page number 103 to 125.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. It's my absolute privilege to move the Armed Forces Covenant Duty Report and Appendix before you tonight. I'll leave it to my esteemed fellow councillor, Councillor Ajmal Garewal, to speak to the substance of the report. She's been far closer to it than I, but speaking as leader of the council, I'd remind you that I believe the new duty is a great opportunity for us all to think about how we support and work with Hounslow's armed forces community, their families, and ask ourselves how we can do more to help meet their needs. We welcome the fact that the new duty aims are so closely aligned to our ambitious for Hounslow commitment to creating a thriving, greener, cleaner, healthier, safer, and livable borough. I therefore have no hesitation in formally moving the approval of the recommendations and commitments contained within the report and appendix. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Rajwat. Now I invite Councillor Thompson to second the report, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The men and women of our armed forces do extraordinary things and put themselves in the way of danger. So it falls on us, I think, and to echo what the leader has said, to do our bit and to do right by them and their families. In defending our realm, they encounter many dangers and they make many sacrifices. And therefore it's right and proper that those who serve, those who have served and their families are always treated fairly by this authority. After all, if we truly want to say thank you to our armed forces for their service, words are never enough and we must put actions into place. So on behalf of the Conservative Group, I am very proud to demonstrate our fierce commitment to supporting our armed forces by seconding this motion and ensuring the Chamber of our total support for everything that's contained within. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Thompson. Councillor Ajmal Garewal.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And my thanks to the Leader of the Council and to the Leader of the Opposition for proposing, seconding and supporting the Armed Forces Covenant Renewal. They've stolen my thunder though, but who am I to argue with two leaders? There you are. Many of you may remember that we were one of the first signatories to the Armed Forces Covenant back in 2012. and how we cemented our relationship and support of the armed forces in our borough. We didn't merely sign the document, we included both a farewell parade for our soldiers who were sent abroad on their tour of duty and a welcome home parade for the Royal Regiment of Fusiliers. We also grieved with those who lost family members during those tours of duty. And I'm proud to be part of those elected members who remember them each year in our Armed Forces Day. Hounslow erected its most recent war memorial adjacent to Holy Trinity Church at the centre of Hounslow High Street. And this is one of the locations where we proudly host our Remembrance Day events with our colleagues from the Royal British Legion. It is a pledge that together we acknowledge and understand that those who serve or have served in the armed forces and their families should be treated with fairness and respect in the communities. However, the Armed Forces Covenant no longer exists in this original form. Therefore, the proposed renewal will refresh and re-emphasize the Council's commitment not only to serving members of the armed forces, but to their families, reservists, veterans, and adult volunteer cadet instructors. And may I also say that going forwards with this, we will be hosting a formal Armed Forces Covenant signing ceremony on Friday, 23rd of June, 2023. Invitations to follow, so please ensure you look out for them and don't blame me if you don't get them. This will also firm up the specific commitments for key departments and organizations working with and in the Hounslow. And therefore, I ask for your support for this report. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Garewal. Councillor John Strout. No? Okay, thank you. Let's move on to votes. Agreed? All. Thank you. Agenda item 10 from page number 126 to 130. We understand that once again, both the political parties are in agreement with the proposal in this report for the appointment of honorary alderman and honorary alderwoman. And I think you agreed to make me the first one. No. Agreed? Not me as the first one, the other one. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot. Agenda item 11. Page number 131 to 139. Appointment of Chief Financial Officer. Once again, both the group leaders have agreed and confirmed that they support the recommendation. So I would like to suggest that we would go straight to the vote for the appointment of Chief Financial Officer and note the other appointments detailed in the report. Agreed? Thank you. Agenda item 12, election of mayor and appointment of a deputy mayor. This is the last main item of business tonight, is the election of our mayor of the Borough of Hounslow for the municipal year 2023 to 2024. Members will find on page number 140 in their agenda papers. I invite Councillor Shantanu Rajwar to propose the nomination.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I proudly and hereby formally move that Councillor Afzal Kiani be elected Mayor of the London Borough of Hounslow for the ensuing municipal year. Councillor Kiani was born in Rawalpindi, Pakistan in 1961. Councillor Kiani moved to the UK in 1986 as a student. After completing his law degree, he started working as a community advisor for a local organisation funded by Islington Council, where he had helped various communities in the fields of housing, social services, what was then the DSS, and police. He successfully represented his lay clients on various occasions at different forums. He's also worked in the civil service in different departments that gave him broad knowledge and experience of dealing with people of diverse backgrounds and, dare I say, difficult backgrounds. He might need that, Councillor Kiani, as mayor. Having been a school governor since 1990 and held various senior positions in respective boards or in the respective board of governors. Councillor Kiani is extremely passionate about public service and about tackling social inequality. He's a steadfast advocate for equality and diversity and is passionate about fostering strong community spirit. Councillor Kiani is married with 4 children, all of which have very successful careers in the private sector, and it gives me great pleasure to move his nomination for Mayor. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Rajwat. Now, can I ask Councillor Catherine Dunn to second the proposal, please?
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. And yes, I second the proposal of Councillor Afzal Kiani for our candidate for Mayor. In his social and community work, Councillor Kiani has gained a wealth of knowledge and experience of dealing with difficult situations and also within the different educational establishments that he's been associated with. Having worked hard to gain the knowledge and skills necessary to play a proactive and essential role in the Labour Party, he was elected as ward chair for the Hounslow Heath ward. He was first elected as a councillor for Hounslow Heath ward in the local elections held in May 2018, and he maintained that position in the local elections last year. Within the council, he has served on various committees and sat on different panels, being chair and also vice chair of the Housing and Environment Scrutiny Panel. And I have great pleasure in seconding his nomination.
Thank you, Councillor Dunn. Any other nomination? Nomination closed. So I welcome Councillor Afzal Kiani, elected as Mayor of London Borough of Hounslow for municipal year 2023-2024. Now, Mr. Kiani, can you come and sign? What? Agreed?
There might be abstentions later.
Against? Abstentions? All agreed?
Agreed.
Thank you. Thank you. Now I request Councillor Kiani to come, please, and sign the Thank you. Now I request Chief Executive Niall to address the council, please.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. Under the provisions of Schedule 2 of the Local Government Act 1972, Councillor Harleen Apple here has been appointed the Deputy Mayor for the London Borough of Hounslow.
Thank you. And now there will be a short adjournment. Thanks a lot. Thank you, everyone.
Please be upstanding for the new Mayor of the London Borough of Hounslow, accompanied by the Mayoral Party.
Please be seated. I would like to thank you, members, for electing me as a mayor of municipal year 2023-2024. I will be talking more about my plans for the year later on. I'm looking forward to working with all members from all parties. And thank you for this House for electing me as a mayor, and there was no contestant from the opposition party. Thank you very much. Okay. Now we move to votes of thanks for Councillor Raghwinder Sidhu as the previous mayor. As you will know, it is the tradition for the original proposer and seconder of the outgoing mayor from a year ago who proposes and seconds the vote of thanks. The person who nominated him last year was Councillor Shantanu Rajawat. So I would like now to invite him to propose the vote of thanks. Is he not here yet? Okay. So we'll wait for him. Where is he gone? I hope, Councillor Rajawat won't be long.
Mr. Mayor, if in Councillor Rajawat's absence, I am happy to propose the vote of thanks to the outgoing mayor. Thank you. So this has been one of the busiest years for a mayor, as many of you as all of you will be aware, and Councillor Sidhu has really excelled in the role. Just to list some of the events that have taken place this year, we had the Platinum Jubilee of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. Sadly then, the death of the monarch when the Queen died later in the year. And the mayor was present at both those events and able to represent us as a borough in those events. Would you like to take over? Okay. To continue with the royal theme, then of course we had the proclamation of His Majesty King Charles III, and then much later the coronation of His Majesty King Charles III and Queen Camilla. And I know that people all over the borough enjoyed taking part in the events and street parties that were organised for that. And Councillor Sidhu was present at a great many of those and took part in many of those events, again, ably representing the borough at those royal events. In addition to that, he attended a visit from the Lord Lieutenant to Hounslow House, and and he attended 2 residents' 100th birthday celebrations in the borough, one of which was held on his own birthday, although not his 100th. Councillor Sidhu attended many citizenship ceremonies, including a special ceremony for the Platinum Jubilee and another one for the coronation, which I had the pleasure of attending myself. And as mentioned previously, he attended the great many events that were organised for the coronation across the borough. In terms of Councillor Sidhu's charity fundraising events, which is an important part of being the mayor, he held a successful fundraising event early on in the year at the Indian Gymkhana, and he has held several charity raffles for staff and councillors throughout his term. He has attended several Remembrance Sunday events across the borough, along with the Deputy Lieutenant, and also many festive activities, including switching on the festive lights. Wonderfully, for our borough, the mayor had an entry and attended the London New Year's Day parade. And I believe the leader attended that, and it looked like a very nice event for those of us who watched it on the television. And to just go back to that, the charity activities, as it's traditional to say that the mayor has raised a princely sum of £24,000 for his charities, polio and children in need.
Thank you, Councillor Dunn. May I now invite Councillor Lily Bath to second the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to second, and I'd also like to say a few words, if that's okay.
Yes, that's fine.
I have to say I was at first a little bit worried when I found out that both my ward colleagues were going to be mayor and deputy mayor. I thought I'd never see them ever in the whole year. But I was absolutely wrong. They did not neglect their ward duties at all, and I've had a really good year with them. I have to say, you've heard all the events that Councillor Sidhu has attended, and he's attended those with such enthusiasm and happiness, and he's always had a great smile on his face. And I hope that you've enjoyed your mayoral year, both yourself and Councillor Farman, and you've both been absolutely brilliant. I don't know about you, Councillor Farman, but I do know that, and I hear from his wife Emma, that you do have a huge amount of household duties that are waiting for you. Is that correct? Yeah. So enjoy those. But thank you very much for being amazing, an amazing year. I hope you enjoyed your mayoral year, and I'd like to welcome both yourself and the Deputy Mayor Harleen. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Councillor Bath. And of course, I know that all members would like to thank Councillor Adesh Farmahan and Councillor Sidhu's wife, Emma, who were deputy mayor and mayors over the year. They have provided great support to the mayor during his time in the office, and themselves added to the dignity and reputation of the mayoralty. May I ask if there are any members from both parties who would like to say a few words? If so, yes, please. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I was going to say everything that Councillor Dunn said, so apologies for being out of the room when that happened, but I just wanted to echo everything that Councillor Dunn and Councillor Bath said, and just put some personal reflections on what is a fantastic mayoral year. And I suppose, Councillor Sidhu, your mayoral year, and we were so sorry to lose him just after you became mayor. Your late father, he would have loved everything that you did as mayor and been there with you. But I'm absolutely certain that he's up there and he's been smiling and enjoying every drink as well that you've had in your mayoral year. He'd be exceptionally proud of you. And I know Auntie is absolutely proud of you, and rightfully she should be as well. And I want to acknowledge all the events. I've had the pleasure of attending many with you, and they've always been more enjoyable because you've been there and we've had a good laugh with it. And I also want to acknowledge the work that Councillor Farman did as not only supporting the mayor, but also enhancing the mayoralty more generally and representing the borough with such excellence as well. Thank you, Councillor Farman. Thank you, Councillor Sidhu. And they say behind two great men are brilliant women. So kudos to Emma, who had to get elected to council to know what you're up to, and Auntie Santosh as well, who has kept you on the straight and narrow, Councillor Farman as well. But in particular for me, my two little friends, Jay and Arian, who've been exceptional young mayors and attended and enjoyed a lot of the events. The future is really bright with those two and our young people, and I want to pay tribute to them as well. Thank you. And obviously, Mr. Mayor, Madam Deputy Mayor, congratulations on your elevation as well.
Thank you, Councillor Rajwat. We now come to the vote. It has been moved and seconded that a vote of thanks be recorded for Councillor Raghuvinder Sidhu for his services as mayor in 2023, 2022, 2023. Is this agreed? Thank you. May I now invite Councillor Sidhu to receive his badge in recognition of his service as mayor. Councillor Sidhu. May I now invite Councillor Sidhu for his speech.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you. I feel privileged and grateful to have served as the Mayor of London Borough of Hounslow in 2022-2023, which was truly a historical year in mayoral calendar. In June 2022, we celebrated a platinum jubilee for Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. I attended various street parties and other celebrations organized by various communities in Hounslow from Chiswick to Bedford. This was once of a lifetime experience for me. In past year, I attended 190 events throughout the borough, meeting residents at care homes, children at schools, community champions at parks and allotments. One thing which I will take from this year is the diversity, which is the key success in our borough, and we should all cherish the different cultures, religions, ethnicities. After the sudden death of Her Royal Highness, the borough come together to pay tributes to long reigning queen, and I proclaimed our new king. This was again a historic event. During this unexpected time, the community stood together to say their final goodbyes to our beloved monarch. Temples, churches, gurdwaras, mosques performed prayers remembering the queen, and I attended these events saying her final goodbye. During the coronation a few weeks ago, I also welcomed our Queen King. Various events were organized, and I attended these events with the leader and other councillors. Our promise of a clean and green borough should be on top of our agenda, and in last year, I planted many trees in borough. And now it's time to say thank yous. I would like to thank Rosie Prescott, Deputy Lieutenant, Rajdeep Lal, Assistant Deputy Lieutenant, Leader Shantanu Rajwat for always supporting me throughout. Thanks to Deputy Leader Catherine Dunn, Leader of the Opposition Peter Thompson, Deputy Mayor Adesh, and fellow Councillor Lily Bath, who looked after our ward when I was doing mayoral duties. And I also thanks all the councillors from both sides of the chambers who supported me when I was chairing the meeting and being helpful. I thank both the members of parliament, Ruth Cadbury and Seema Malhotra, for always guiding me through this year. I would like to thank various businesses who supported me by making donations to my charity, Polio and Children in Need. Polio was not eliminated. Polio has not been eliminated yet, and choosing this charity, I raised awareness and raised 24,000 pounds. Thank you again, everyone who bought tickets for fundraising events, donated raffle prizes, and special thank you to Brentford Football Club and Rugby Club who donated T-shirts signed by the players, which raised thousands of pounds in auction. I would like to say thank you to my officers in London Borough of Hounslow, starting from Niall, Thomas Ribbett, Communication Department, Liz for writing my blogs, Yag for photography, Tim for organizing events, and Gary for providing AV support throughout the year. I now thank Emma and my mom, Aryan and Jai, for helping us. Last but not the least, special thanks to Carol and Nicole, who always supported me. Thank you. There's a very small gift for Carol and Nicole.
Thank you, Councillor Sidhu. I believe there is a video. Is it going to be played now?
Yes, please, if you can.
Okay. Can we play the video, please? Thank you. I hope everyone enjoyed the video. Okay, and now it's a fun part. This is time for my speech. Um, okay. Good evening to all. I would like to start by extending my thanks to everyone for being here tonight. To be elected as Mayor of the London Borough of Hounslow is an enormous honor, and so I would particularly like to welcome and thank the following. The Deputy Mayor, Councillor Harleen Atwal here, who will be working alongside me with me during my term in office, honorable guests, my fellow members of the council from all parties, outgoing Mayor, Councillor Rigwinder Sidhu, Councillor Shantanu Rajwat, leader of the council and his cabinet, our two respected members of parliament, Ruth Cadbury and Seema Malhotra MP, Niall Bolger, the chief executive of the council and his entire team, my colleagues and friends in the community, my family members, and in particular my elder brother Tariq Kiani and his family, Nadeem Kiani and his family, Shafiq Rahman and his family, and Shabir Chaudhry and his family, Mr. Rajab and his family, Sajid Ali and his family. And special thanks goes to my best friend, Dr. Raja Amjad Mahmood, who has traveled all the way from Islamabad to be present at this mayor making ceremony, which is such an important event in our political lives here in Hounslow. I remain indebted to all for their continued support in my highs and lows through thick and thin. I would also like to thank my fellow ward councillors, Councillor Samia Chaudhry, Councillor Farhan Rahman, and of course, Onslow Heath ward residents for their support and cooperation. I want also to say thank you to my amazing children Avas, Hena, Sana, and Anik, who have been active contributors and supporters to me in my professional and political journey, which I'm sure every one of us here totally agree. Often requires great sacrifices in the spirit of public service. They say sharing is caring. And so I cannot express enough thanks and gratitude to my wonderful wife, Mrs. Rifat Kiani, for her selfless support, commitment with our shared vision of what we are today as a family and as contributing members of the great society in Hounslow and raising our children. I can confess that most of the time, the challenge was often faced by her alone, while I was spared to undertake my social and political work. My gratitude to her is immense. Ladies and gentlemen, with that in mind, it is my great honor to announce that I have selected my wife Rifat to be the mayoress alongside me. I have also asked Councillor Adesh Farmahan and Mr. Shafiq Rahman to accompany me to the events during my term in the mayoral office. To be made mayor is a great honor, but to be the first mayor of Hounslow to be elected during the reign of our new king, His Majesty King Charles III, seemed to me too extra special. I would personally, therefore, like to pay tribute to him and acknowledge his many years public service, both here in the UK and across the Commonwealth. The key words here are public service, and it is something to which the King has dedicated his life, as we, in our own way, as mayor or councillor or dedicated local volunteers or community champion, or even just as a good neighbor, have done as well. We can all work for and with each other for the greater good. But what is the role of a mayor? Well, it is often described as being the first citizen of the borough, with the office holder having the honor of being the face of Hounslow. The role continues a great British tradition of local governance going back many centuries, as the medieval style robes suggest. And it carries many responsibilities both here in the council chamber and in the community. I am passionate about using my term in office to be representative of all the people of Hounslow and will try and maintain the cultural and traditional values of the borough through the notion of harmony, respect, equality, and fairness. I will also do my best to chair council meetings effectively and fairly and ensure that we are all guided in what we do here by the spirit of wanting to serve all our residents. I would also like to touch upon the importance of charitable and community work being undertaken by a great number of local social groups and charities. I am grateful to all those committed organizations of all sizes, big and small, for their great work in line with the mayoral tradition I would like to announce two charities as my chosen mayoral charities for the year: Al Mustafa Trust and CW Plus. Al Mustafa Trust is dedicated to eradicating global poverty for over 30 years, has been delivering life-saving humanitarian aid to the poorest countries in the world. They transform lives of millions of people in need on a daily basis. CW Plus is the official charity of Chelsea and Westminster Hospital NHS Foundation Trust. Their mission is to work with their trust to create world-class facilities, drive innovation and research, and enhance patient and staff well-being. I would be grateful if you could all help me to support these charities by raising awareness of the wonderful work they do, and where you can by donating generously. I have spoken a lot this evening about public service. As I come to the end of this speech of thanks, and in keeping with the spirit of my comments so far, I would like to recall the great public service of my colleague and friend, the late Councillor Javed Akhundzada, who passed away during his term as a councillor on 29th November 2021. I'm grateful to Mrs. Zara Akhundzada, his wife, and their daughters Ishal and Zoya. They are present here in this ceremony for the family's public service for the residents of Hounslow. Ladies and gentlemen, with your support during my term in the mayoral office, I'm sure that I will be able to continue on the course of all my predecessors in this important role and work for the betterment of residents of the borough together. Thank you. We are now coming to the end of the meeting, so I would like to remind members that we all supported a motion to promote civility in public life, and that starts here in this chamber. As you know, we will all be involved in many important and serious debates and discussion on issues which affect the lives of all of us and our residents. And whilst we may disagree how to achieve our hopes for the borough, we can all agree that we can be respectful and polite in debates. And as mayor, I will strive to ensure that we all do that, and I ask you in return to do your bit too. I would also like to invite members and guests to the small reception that I have arranged for after the meeting. Now we move on to the next item of the agenda item 13. Any other matter that the mayor considers urgent? I don't have any other urgent matters, so that item is gone. So we go to the next item, which is agenda item 14, date of the next meeting. May I ask members to note that date of the next meeting of council, which will be Tuesday, 18 July 2023. This meeting will commence at 7:30 p.m. and take place in this chamber. I would look forward to seeing you all there. And may I take this opportunity to remind the members to sign the attendance book if they have not done so. Okay, thank you. Okay. Okay, can I now invite, we are going to close the meeting. Can I now invite the guests and members for the reception, which is next door there. So please join me there. Thank you.